Week 4, babe. We're coming to the end. Today is the last day of week 4. And let me tell you, this shit ain't getting any easier. Okay, so I was just on my way out to leave. It's a day 2 of no surfing in a row. Waves are really small today. So I thought, okay, I've got some tasks and deadlines to hit, and I have some other content for my channel to upload, as well as prepare for my live stream presentation next week. My goodness, I am feeling a little bit again overwhelmed and a little bit stressed. However, I know that if I just give myself the time, which I'm going to do today, to get through what I need to get done, I'm going to feel a lot more confident. But just in this moment, I went live this morning and I shared around how I'm going to be holding my live stream next week. And all my insecurities came up, like, oh, did I say it right? Was I referring too much to my notes? And what if nobody's interested? What if not? What if, all my doubts and things come up. And it's interesting because this year, I've definitely up leveled in so many ways. And I guess my intention for sharing this video today is that you start to come into the knowing that in order for you to achieve big things, it's a matter of stepping into the unknown, saying yes, and being able to expand your capacity of what you're involving yourself with and the decisions that you make and things that you may need to let go of and things that you need to learn, right? There has to be a massive shift in you with all that you do and how you think and what you do and your traits, behaviors, mindsets, your action in order for you to create a different life. And so what's come up for me this week and what may may be able to reflect on is that procrastination is going to get you nowhere, right? As soon as I can tell that I'm procrastinating, why am I procrastinating? It's because either A, I'm tired, B, I'm not managing my time efficiently, and C, it's again, my insecurities come up, and it's it's going to always be a constant practice daily for staying on top of your mindset. And I constantly do things to improve my mindset and my energetics and my frequency. I meditate daily. I do some yoga. I do have a gratitude affirmations practice. I also have some manifestation techniques and things that I've shared before as well. But here's the thing. It's all about just getting into action. And it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? Done is better than perfect. Nobody actually cares if you stumble over your words or if you're not looking the way that you think that you should be looking, or nobody actually cares, because at the end of the day, people are drawn to energy. And that's what I need to keep reminding myself, that as long as I just stay clear to my vision, and this is what also I encourage you to do, is stay close to your vision. And it doesn't matter what other people think, and oh, you should be doing things like this, and you should be doing your content like that, and oh, I think, cut the noise, right? So week 4 has been again, I've had to put together a new webinar. I've actually got 2 webinars that I'm working on. The webinar for the 90 days, as well as I'm working on a recorded webinar for the mentorship that I'm with Aubrey. And I practiced my webinar last night. For one of my webinars, I didn't even write a script, and I just talked off the cuff. Terrible. It was terrible. And I realized that I need to be showing up in a certain way of sharing my story more and what's changed for me. And I guess my biggest transformations, if you've been watching any of this content, is that what is truly going to drive your change and success. Yes, there's certain strategic things, you've got to create some content, and you've got to have an offer, and maybe you need to do a few strategic business related tasks. But again, it's your mindset and it's your energy. It's showing up in a certain way that you have true belief in yourself. And here's the thing, I do believe in myself. I've worked through so much this year to get to where I am. However, just this week, and maybe it's also because there's some hormonal changes this week, ladies, if you're watching, we have that time of the month every month. And I feel a little bit discombobulated, a little bit scattered. And it's still, okay, what needs to get done? What do I need to get done today for my business, for my mindset, for my way of showing up? Offline and online, in the water, out of the water. This morning when I shared my live, it was what value do I want to share with the world today? Who needs to hear what I have to share? And so for me, it's like when I listen to YouTube channels, YouTube video content, long form content, when I listen to podcasts, when I listen to content on Facebook, on Instagram, when I truly listen to a piece of content where somebody is sharing a message from their heart and soul, it's like, what do I get to get out of that? And it's like for me, in like sharing this content today, for you watching, how is your life going to be positively impacted? And this is always like my dharma, is for you to be absorbing my content and really integrating, implementing my message, that anything gets to be possible for you. But you've got to start to show up in a different way and start to do things differently than you've never done before, right? And there's some things when it comes to my business, and there's some things, you know, in my life, in surfing, and there's some things like in different aspects of my life that I can see that I still like sit safe. And I was having a conversation. There are 2 conversations that I had recently. 3 conversations. Somebody asked me a few months ago, like, why do you have to surf those big waves? That was number 1. The other question was like, well, you don't have to do that. You could just like settle and like have a normal life and like have a job like everybody else does. I just can't work for anybody else anymore. Third question though is, it wasn't really a question, but it was a conversation that I had. Somebody said, well, I like to go to my safe place and surf. And I thought, yeah, I don't have to surf at Uluwatu all the time and be challenging myself in that spot. But here's the thing, what I've learned through my own life experience, through the success of entrepreneurs who are highly successful, wildly successful, professionally and financially, multiple 6, 7, and 8 figures, who have family, who have the dream home, who get to travel endlessly, who have some of the things that I truly aspire to. If there's anything that I've learned through entrepreneurship and through like making big things happen, is that this ain't easy, but it's possible. And what does it take? It takes being consistent, and it takes stepping out of your comfort zone, and it takes stepping out of the safe zone, and it takes stepping out of, well, I'm just going to continue. I had a conversation yesterday. I'm just going to continue to like keep doing what I'm doing because I get paid really well. But actually I have these dreams of like traveling and like living a certain different lifestyle. Another conversation I had is like, I'm gonna keep doing this because it's my safe place, and at the end of the day, like I get paid a certain amount of money. And I understand that in the short term, sometimes we have to do things. And that was true for me. Like back in the day, like 10 years ago, I was still like working in a clothing store. Like I just, and I knew that was the interim before I was like set to like leave and go work internationally again. And I was working in a clothing store, and I was about, I think I was like 36 at the time. And like, I don't want to be working in a clothing store anymore. I don't want to be working for somebody else. I don't want to be trading my precious time to be building somebody else's dream, somebody else's company, somebody else's dream. Like, it's scary sometimes to think, if I go away, move away from doing something that I've always done before, that gives me the stability of right now, financial stability. But I'm so unfulfilled, right? In order to start something new, to actually create like massive momentum and impact in your life, and financial empowerment, and time, and more time flexibility. Like, that is more scary because we become so settled in like staying like small and staying safe. And it's like, I think for myself, and maybe you think as well, do you really want to be 60, 70, 80, 90 years old and you're like, I should have done something differently, And I think back to decisions that I've made for myself this year. If I didn't make a change, I would still be in the same miserable situation. Don't want to be like that. It's the same. I could have continued to work for other people as a yoga instructor and only get paid a certain amount of money. I was still living a good life before I started this online business. However, I knew that I wanted more, and I knew that there was more. However, the journey of success, the journey of love, the journey of business, the journey of entrepreneurship, the journey of health, like your pursuit in the things that you like truly wish to have like freedom and success and happiness and joy in, like that doesn't just like come like that. But it's like, what are you willing to do in order to achieve that? Because let me tell you, when you are, and this is what I found, Like by being surrounded with others who I see in my community, who are mentors of mine, who some people are also like 20 years younger than me, and their success is like crazy wild. It's like if we can just overcome and get on the other side of our fears and our doubts and our like procrastination and our uncertainty, there's like so much more. And so I think that's just what's been coming up for me this week, is that I just need to continue to keep pushing through. And I just need to continue to like remind myself, and for you also, that every day is a new day. And you're not where you were yesterday, or maybe where you were a few years ago. Maybe you're not already where you desire to be in the future, but you're on the way. And that is so much better than like settling. Like I'm at a place in my life, and maybe you're also at a place in your life. You're like, you just cannot keep going the same way that you've always gone. And maybe that's with your business. Maybe that's with your money. Maybe that's in your relationships. Maybe that's with your friendships. Maybe that's with your health, your creative pursuits. You're surfing, like maybe it's your yoga, your spiritual practices. I invite you to just take a moment to reflect and think like, could there be more? And let me tell you that there can be so much more. That is my reflections and my insights from week 4, is that I've got to stay in action. I've got to not care about like what other people are doing in my community, or what people have already done, or what people like want to do. Like stay in my own lane, stay in action, and just continue to like show up and do like what I want to do. Because I really believe in right now, like the trajectory that I'm on, for who I'm calling into, for what I'm building, for even like what I'm doing with my YouTube channel here, and everything that I'm doing with my business, and everything that I'm even doing with my surfing. I have friends of mine that have coaches, and I don't have a coach, and sometimes I think, oh, maybe I should get a coach. And actually I do want to get a coach and get a few like different pointers and things. But I also believe in myself that I'm on the right way, I'm on the right path. And I truly wish to implore onto you that when you just like really cut the noise and the distractions, and you really listen to like what it is that you desire, like that calling is there for a reason. And that vision, that like future idea and plan is actually a memory of like what's already happened for you in the future. It's just that like you're being reminded of that now, and that wouldn't be there unless it actually means something. And when you can like not doubt yourself and like just continue to follow your heart and your dreams. And of course, like there's other things, like you've got to show up in a certain way. You know, there's things, yes, that you need to learn for surfing or for business, right? But just continue to show up and keep following your heart and your dreams, and like don't give up. That's my message for you today.